Okay, so let's talk about leadership for a second. And what I mean in this particular video is specifically around rate increases, right? Um, I'm shooting this in 2022. For the past couple of years, there hadn't been a whole lot of rate increases. Went through this thing called COVID-19, and a lot of companies are actually giving money back. They're giving customers their money back and reducing premiums. And now a lot of that is starting to just catch up with people as the economy gets rolling. People they're driving more. So you're going to see a lot of rate increases due to activity. More driving, more claims, but also inflation has really gone up a lot in the last couple of years, especially the last year. And all those costs they trickle down to rates, right? So, as an owner, you have to do a really good job of setting the example and being the leader that everybody looks to with whatever kind of adversity you're going through. And I always talk about, when you're on an airplane, right? And that airplane hits some really bad turbulence, a lot of times people will look up and see what the flight attendant is doing. And if he or she is, freaking out, then the whole plane freaks out. But if they're all calm, they're just sitting there reading their book or, whatever it is they're doing, and it's just kind of a bumpy ride for a little bit, everybody seems to think everything's okay. You can do the exact same thing with your team. So when you get rate increases, number one, nothing we can do about them, right? The companies they're gonna pass whatever rate increase, file whatever rate increases they need to file in order to stay profitable. They got to have a combined rate, a combined ratio they're looking for. So, it's going to happen. We're going to get them. I've had them seems like every single year since I've been in business, we had rate increases. So it's just a way of life. Now, there's a lot of good that comes with rate increases, right? In terms of, the overall business. And these are some of the things you can talk about with your staff. Number one, they definitely help with revenue. Okay, in terms of more revenue coming in. Sometimes people kind of freak out and think they're going to lose policies and lose business over rate increases. You may lose some, but overall you're probably, if you handle them correctly, you're probably going to gain premium, which means you're going to gain revenue. And you might actually do it with less customers, which there may be some other issues that go along with that when it comes to your bonus or your growth in terms of policy or item growth. But if you're really looking at the revenue side of it, it's actually a really good thing. Rate increases can be a really, really good thing, and they are a good thing when it comes to revenue. The other thing that it does is in your market, and this may be where you really focus more time with your staff. When you have rate increases, and it's pretty much industry-wide, which I think a lot of this that's going on today, because of inflation, it will be industry-wide. It's not just isolated to a certain carrier. Make sure your team understands that, look, when you have that happen, that stirs up the market, right? That creates more opportunities for you from a quoting perspective. You have more shoppers. So the more rate increases you have, the more shoppers that you have. And look, we're all basically just kind of stealing customers from one another anyways, right? That's how this market works. It's not like there's a lot of new people coming into the insurance market. We just basically have this big group of customers, and we all trade customers back and forth. Well, the ones that do it the best are the ones that are going to win. So when you recognize, hey, you know what, rate increases are coming. Yes, we're going to have to deal with those conversations and deal with some of our own customers ourselves, but we're also going to have a lot of opportunity because other carriers are experiencing the same thing. And we need to take advantage of that. So look, you need to be a leader with any type of situation that you have in your agency, especially, around issues of adversity, right? And those come in a lot of different shapes or forms. Rate increases are something that's going to happen over and over. If you're down about it, if they hear you on the phone, complaining and griping to your friends, all that stuff kind of trickles down. So, it's not like you're going to be phony about it or, drink the Kool-Aid or anything like that. It's just that, look, here's the situation, right? It is what it is. Can't change it. Where's the good? I always try to look for the good. There's good in just about any situation that you can find yourself in. There's always something to be grateful for, right? Well, when you have rate increases, there are some things that are going to be good. You're going to have more revenue, more than likely, and it's going to create more opportunities from a shopping perspective. Now, it's also really important that you take the initiative to get on the offense when it comes to your customers. I would reach out to the ones that have the largest amount of rate increase, call them, don't need to talk about the rate increase, but do a review, offer a review to go over, everything about their policy and try to find things you can change. And you can tell them what the new rate's going to be with those changes. A lot of times you never even have to mention the rate increase. But the main thing is be a leader. right? Set the example, set the tone. Don't let the situation control you. You control how you respond to that situation. So when you get these rate increases and they get filed, and maybe people start getting down about, oh, the rates are going to go up, they're always going to go up. It's just the way this business is. It's always going to go up. It just continues to escalate through the years. It's just what you do with it. So take those tips in mind. Be a good leader, set a good example, talk about it with your team. Go ahead and face it, and try to find the good. Try to find those opportunities where you can go out and take business away from other carriers that are doing the exact same thing. If you do those things, you should win, and everybody should feel a lot better about what you're doing and how you're dealing with the situation.